Oh, my feelings. Breathe is directed by Andy Serkis. That's right, that Andy Serkis, and it stars Andrew Garfield and Claire Foy. Now, this is a true story of Robin Cavendish, a man who at the age of 28 in 1958 was diagnosed with polio. Now, against all medical people telling him that he cannot live away from hospital, he cannot live not having his respirator looked at and constantly maintained, he will not survive outside of the hospital. Yet Robin actually did live till the grand old age of 64 in 1994. He defied all expectations and had an entire life that he invented a chair that would breathe for him, etc., so that he could finally just start living again. Isn't that impressive? As I said, this is the directorial debut of Andy Serkis of King Kong and mainly Lord of the Rings fame. More recently, he was in War for the Planet of the Apes, of course, as Caesar. Now, you can definitely tell this is his first movie he's ever directed. There's ebbs and flows in this. It's not perfect, but hey, this film really had me in its grasp. When I found out what this story was about, I was immediately desperate to see this movie. And I'll be honest with you, I was crying like a baby had just had its sweets taken away. Hashtag manly moment. Now, let's start this review, guys, with something and someone that I definitely wasn't surprised about going in. Andrew Garfield has had some truly outrageous sort of moments in his career. Let's just pop that old poster up on the screen, because this just no. But I really think that he really started coming into his own as a character actor. I think it started really with The Social Network. In this film, he was absolutely incredible. He really got into his character. Of course, if you've seen The Social Network, you know exactly what I mean. But what I really am taking out of this whole part here is his part in Hacksaw Ridge. Now, him as Desmond Doss in this movie was a part of Andrew Garfield I've never ever seen before. He really immersed himself. I forgot it was Andrew Garfield. He was that good as Desmond, and I really think I can compare his performance of Desmond Doss to this one, and that is a huge statement, as I am a huge fan of Hacksaw. In Hacksaw, you could really tell that Garfield studied Desmond Doss, and you can really tell he studied Robin in this film as well. He totally immerses himself into the role, and apparently, according to reports, he even was Robin off of the set and had Claire Foy itch his face when he had an itch. It's like he was just becoming, it's like Shia LaBeouf, but like a sane version, as in he takes his characters so seriously to the point, and I'm not even kidding here, maybe he'll be tipped for an Oscar on this one. Now, Claire Foy is of course known for playing the Queen of Bloody England in the hugely popular and hugely expensive Netflix series The Crown. So of course, if you're going to play the Queen, you've got to be a good actress, and she is absolutely amazing in this movie. She plays a woman, of course, Robin's wife, Diana, who gave up her entire life. They fell in love extremely early. He then, of course, as I've said, he was only 28 when he got polio. So she really had to just dig down and really grow up, as well as care for this man and give up her own life. And I felt so much for her character. Yes, Andrew Garfield was amazing, but I don't think he would have worked nearly as good if Claire Foy wasn't there, really showing you the pain of the other side of that equation and the love that she gave this man. You can just tell that in real life it must have been so hard, and this performance was so good that it made me care. Her character and her story arc, really, if you want a sort of comparison before you go into this movie, I'd really compare her to Felicity Jones in The Theory of Everything. The story arc, her story arc, as well as his, is very comparable to this one. And if you've seen that film, you'll know exactly where I'm going with this. it leads on and really shows you how she deals with it as well as him. And if I love this one, and if you love this one, there's no way you're not gonna love this film too. As you can tell, I really enjoyed this movie, but hate to be a party pooper, but there are some things that I just cannot let slide. The main thing that happened for me was really right at the start of the movie. You see Robin fall in love, and you see Diana and him have their lives extremely quickly. I would say too quickly, to the point where I sort of just thought, oh, this bit's good. Oh, bye. You know, sort of, it just wouldn't stay long enough on a certain point. It almost feels like, yes, Andy Serkis's directorial debut, yes, we all know that, but it's almost like he just was rushing to get to the polio part. You know, it felt like, okay, yeah, they're in love, polio. You know, it never really let you invest in the characters, which makes you at the start not care. Now, of course, as I said, cried like a baby, but at the start I just sort of like, oh, okay, yep, just teenagers having a bad time of it, and then boom. It was really disappointing that he just didn't sort of maybe trust himself to elongate certain parts, but yeah, it just kept bugging me as to why he would just skip certain parts so often. This also made the time frames seem really off. Yes, at the bottom of the screen they will have, like, you know, the year in which they are now, but it seems to shoot through years really quickly. So you'll be seeing, okay, he's getting through the polio, he's invented something, and then apparently in this next scene he's had that for years, and you're like, oh, okay. It sort of leaves you behind in certain places where your brain has to sort of catch up. Not that it's difficult to catch up, of course, but it just seems like rushed again, that it just wouldn't, come on, give me a little bit more of that era. This is really interesting, don't take too much away, but it just seems to just want to get to the really sad parts. To me, that seems just a little bit Oscar baity, that they're just trying to get all these sad things in to make people care and go, that was a gorgeous film because of all the sad parts. But really, this film is charming as well in places, just wouldn't give itself that. With all this being said, guys, this movie took me on a total roller coaster of emotions. Yes, I was confused at the start as to why things were happening, as I said, but when it really got down to it, and towards the end, I was babbling like a baby. What I would also say in conjunction to that, though, is I think this movie is trying very hard to be an Oscar bait movie, maybe just trying a little bit too hard. Yes, there is certain moments in this film where it is perfect, but it's a beautiful film with a lot of holes. With all of these things being said, guys, I am going to give Breathe a 3.5 out of 5. So there you have it, guys. There is my take on the movie Breathe. Now, if you have seen the movie, please let me know what you think in the comments down below. I would love to know. Now, after you people have closed this lovely video, please don't forget to click that subscribe button. Don't forget to like and share it with all your friends. You'll know the drill, and I'll see you all in the next video.